positive leadership here in Houston, Texas, and James Peace. We've been working with James Peace ever since our August date, and how we've gone forward on this thing with UIL registering officials ever since March 11th and the announcement made by Dr. Charles Brydup. And since that time, the UIL behind the scenes has been going full force into the application of registering officials. Before I get into that, and I'm going to have a lot of information for you, I've yet to speak at a chapter across the state of Texas, and I won't even begin to tell you where I've been so far or where I'm headed. All right? But I've yet to speak to where I shut myself off. So eventually, James will shut me down, and you guys will have enough and start filling out of here. I've got enough information to give you until the moon comes up tonight, even under the clouds and the cows start howling. And with that, I'll tell you this. All right, that may sound a little country, but I was born and raised in my early years in Houston, Texas. Now, somebody dared me to say what I normally open these meetings up and these speeches up with, and that is, I was born in Houston, but I got the heck out of here as quickly as I could. All right? I was born here, and I lived here for 12 years, and I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, because I think it's important to see from some of you how I came on the scene, and where I came from, and what I've done, and the broad expanse of all the things that I've had an opportunity to do in my career. I'm not an expert in anything, and I don't try to claim to be. I don't try to claim to be the voice of anything. I was hired as a director for officials for the state of Texas for the UIL, and that includes every sport, okay? All sports, not just basketball. Football, baseball, soccer, volleyball, wrestling, and you name it. All right, if they're doing it right now, I'm the director. But I was born in Houston. We all know the Houston mentality, the Houston deal. We get caught in that bubble, and I moved out of Houston, Texas to a town called Vashti. Population 62 and 5 dogs. Now, we talk about culture shocks, and being from Houston, we know, we're all about Houston. And anything that involves outside of Houston doesn't matter. It's kind of like the Texas theory. Anything that involves outside Texas, we really don't give a darn. All right? Same sort of thing. So I moved out, population 62, to a small town where they didn't have football. All I ever played my entire life was football. Football, it was it in Houston, Texas. And I knew that. As I moved to this town, I had a huge culture shock and went from wearing jeans and nice shirts to coveralls. All right? Ended up trapping animals for a living. Ended up guiding hunters starting at a very young age. Went to 8 different schools from the time I graduated, or the time I started school, from the time I finally graduated. Now, I brag a little bit about myself, but I'm proud to say that I graduated top 10 in my class. Right? It was 10. More importantly, it was me and one other guy and 8 girls. All right? And more importantly than that, my accomplishments, 5 of the girls were pregnant when we walked the stage, but none of them mine. Right? There's a few things that I'm proud of, but as I moved on, and I went to 8 different schools from the time I started school to the time I finally graduated, I got to experience the Houston side of it, the big 5A's, the big going to school with 15, 16, 1,700 kids in your class. All the things that come from small school to a school that was so small we didn't have a football program. All we had was basketball, all right? And we didn't have baseball, didn't have anything. It was nothing but basketball. You ran on a dirt track. All right? I got to see the other side of the world that lived outside of what we call the concrete jungle. I'm proud that my parents, fortunately, moved around the state of Texas and allowed me the opportunity to start in Houston, go to Texarkana, over to Fort Worth, Wichita Falls, around where I finally graduated with a small school southwest of Lubbock in West Texas. At the age of 18, I moved to what they call the Davis Mountains, the Alpine, went to school at Sullivan State University. I played 6-man football my senior year, and was fortunate enough to get all-state, both sides of the ball, football on offense and defense. Had a great career, but when you're in a 1A school, if you can walk, talk, chew gum, you're an athlete. You're an athlete. As I went through all of my playing career, and I ended up graduating from high school with over, I forgot what my point number was, Bill, but I ended up graduating my senior year in 1988. I was the 23rd all-time leading scorer in Texas. I averaged 36.8 points a game my senior year, but once again, 1A school. It was easy. Pass me the ball and I'll score. All right? Did all these sort of things. Got to see that side. Moved up to Sullivan State University on a so-called scholarship. Played basketball up there. Ended up getting a coaching career. Started even though I didn't know where I was going. Ended up coaching at a school that didn't have football. My first coaching job. Ended up staying in public education for 5 years as a head coach. I was a head coach of 2 years, and then the good Lord decided that he did change my life. By the way, I'm a preacher's kid. My dad's a Baptist minister. So you need to know that, all right? And the Lord decided He wanted to put the P word in there too, patience. And that's what comes when you coach girls basketball. So I coached girls basketball for 3 years, all right? And then the Lord taught me a lot of patience. I also coached women's basketball at the collegiate level and had some pretty good success there under the guidance of Dr. Chet Sample. But as I did all these things, I realized as I moved out of education in '99, I started my officiating career in 1989, and then of course I had to break away from coaching. I missed it. And I missed it. And I missed what you guys are here tonight. With rain and slick roads and all the weather that's out there, I see guys in postal uniforms and ties. And unless I'm guessing wrong, did nobody go home 3 hours early before this meeting to put a tie on just to come watch men's feet? Okay? We come from our jobs. We realize one thing as officials. This was an abdication. I got 12 years of experience as an official. I started at junior high level, as many of you are here tonight are going to start. I started working my butt off, calling 8 games a day. Boy, if there's a tournament, I called it until it's the last game on the floor. All right, and many of you know how that works. All right, $25 a game, it didn't matter. Give them all I could take, and I'll take them all. And I started working my way up. And then the credibility factor started. And the one thing I did when I started my officiating career was the same thing I did when I coached, and the same thing I applied to the principles of what I do today. Know what you're doing. Know your topic. Know your subject as well as you could. I knew as a coach that I knew more than the officials that were on the floor. Now, they reminded me every now and then, but I knew that I knew more than what they did on the floor. Right? But it hurt my feelings as a coach to know that officials could show up, pay their so-called $50, buy a black and white striped uniform. By the way, we get to go gray, but anyway, put a whistle in your mouth, and basically dictate my future as a coach. I had a real problem with that. I knew that I was at best a C- student when I graduated. I did not graduate from college with a 2.0. So I had to retake some courses in order to get my exit scores up. All right? I knew I wasn't just a grand smart guy. Now, to this day, I have a double master's degree. All right? Just amazing what you can find on the internet. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, they got a lot of college credit. A lot of things happen. A lot of things happen to put me in the right spots. All right? But as a coach, I realized that knowing the rules was absolute. Absolute. And if that was the case with the coaching, what must it be for officials? I found out really early in my coaching career that a lot of officials didn't know the rules. It frustrated me to see blatant rules violations called, such as the ball being in the backcourt and a 3-second violation being called in the front court. I will go further than what James said to let you know that that's not legal, people. For those of you who wonder what the problem was, that's not legal. Okay, just so you know, some other people are going, I didn't know what the rule is. You cannot start that 3-second count, the ball across half court. You need to understand that. I'd ask. But I had a frustration as a coach knowing that officials should know the rules. And I always had a problem knowing that that official could pay $50 and dictate the outcome of my coaching career. Now, as times have progressed and we moved up, the one word that didn't exist then is the one word until today didn't exist in the officiating world: accountability. We've thrown it around. I'm sure you heard James Batiste talk about it and other officials in the room talk about it. But the one fact of the matter, and do you want to know why the UIL is here tonight and why the UIL here is now as approved by the Legislative Council this morning, and I'm delivering the message straight to Houston, Texas for the very first time, all officials will be registered with the UIL starting next year. Congratulations, Houston, Texas. If there was ever a doubt as to whether or not you made the right choice in stepping out and being a leader, all right, and letting your voice be heard, and knowing that something needed to change and something needed to be applied based on accountability, it has. I love that. I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, I just want to let you know you were being recorded. I love that one. The last one I went to, they were videotaping me. And I talked to the video camera more than I did the audience. I love it. You'll find out real quick. And I love that sort of deal because there's nothing I say tonight, back here, in the parking lot, or to any one of you guys at any time that you can't repeat. Now, I got some pretty fancy jokes, so if you hear me say those, you're going to have to guard them. You use them guarded, all right? Everything else you can repeat. Because that's the message of the UIL. The UIL has nothing to hide. The UIL is fully transparent. Anything I say tonight needs to be transmitted to everybody in the state of Texas. The biggest farce amongst what has taken place before today was that we had a database that reached out to each one of you guys and young ladies. We didn't have that, people. The reason it was so important that you had the proper leadership in place here in Houston, Texas, in order to convey what I'm confirming, and I was telling James before the meeting started, what I'm trying to confirm is the largest officiating chapter basketball in the entire United States of America.